My wife and I love Blaze Pizza because they have a build your own where you can order as many toppings as you want and as much of each of those toppings as you want. You can really pile it on there and you can get exactly what you want on there, and it's so fun. And one time we were at Blaze and I had piled on sausage on my pizza. And I was so excited to eat it. I was so hungry. And we sat down and I grabbed my first piece and I brought it up to my mouth. And as I was bringing it up to my mouth, one of the pieces of sausage dropped off and landed on the ground. And I looked down at that piece of sausage and I was so disappointed. I was so disappointed because I wanted every piece of sausage. I was so hungry and I was looking forward to it so much. I had been looking forward to it that whole day until we finally went to Blaze. And now that piece of sausage was sitting down there on the ground. And I kept eating the pizza and talking to Beth and enjoying our date, but there was always this little bit of a distraction where every now and then I would look down again and see that piece of sausage and get a little sad. Like, oh man, I wish that piece of sausage was still on my pizza. I wish I didn't lose that piece of sausage. And as I reflect back on this story, it makes me think of something that we actually very often do in life in so many different areas. And that is that we focus so much on what we lack that we fail to fully enjoy what we actually have right now in the present moment. So for me, because that one little piece of sausage fell, I actually didn't enjoy that whole rest of the pizza that I did have as much as I could have. All I needed to do was let that piece of sausage go, just say, okay, that piece of sausage is gone, and I have this whole pizza that I get to enjoy. And if I just had focused on that, I would have loved the pizza and had a great time. But my experience was hindered a decent amount because my mind kept going back to what I lacked, even though it was this tiny piece of sausage compared to the whole pizza. So, when we forget about what we do have, what we have going well for us, we fail to enjoy it, even though it's right there. And so when we're distracted by the tiniest things that we do lack, or big things that we do lack, it keeps us from enjoying what we have right now. And if we can't enjoy what we have right now, then why do we even have it in the first place? And this can apply in so many different ways. I've seen in working with athletes, so many athletes tend to focus so much on where they're falling short that they forget about what they're doing well, and therefore they don't enjoy their sport to the fullest. They focus so much on their mistakes and imperfections and the difference between the athlete they want to be and the athlete that they currently are, and they kind of play their sport with this constant feeling of dissatisfaction. And they're forgetting about what they actually currently have going for them. They forget about their current capabilities and how far they've come since the beginning, which is incredible. They've come so far. They've been practicing for years, but they forget about all of that because the only thing that they focus on is what they're lacking, and that inhibits their enjoyment. But it doesn't just inhibit their enjoyment, it actually inhibits their progress as well, because the best learning and improvement come through a combination of learning from our mistakes and improving those mistakes, and learning from our successes and continuing those successes and making them even better. So we have to learn from our shortcomings and from our successes. But we so often just get distracted by the shortcomings themselves and then don't do any of the learning from the successes. And it also inhibits our progress because when we're focused only on the lack, only on what we don't have, and that's the only thing ever going through our minds, it creates burnout. We get really burnt out if we never pause to celebrate what we're doing well. And we get burnt out because if we're only focusing on our mistakes over and over and over again, 24 hours a day, then we stop enjoying that thing that we're doing. So in athletics, if you're only ever focusing on what you're doing wrong, if you're only ever focusing on your mistakes, then you're going to stop enjoying your sport to the fullest. I've seen this in relationships as well, where partners only focus on the things about their partner that they don't like. They lose sight of why they fell in love with their partner, and they start to hone in on those little things that kind of annoy them or are bothering them, and they fail to enjoy their relationship with their partner because they're honed in only on those things that bother them, to the detriment of everything else. They forget about the amazing qualities that their partner has. And that's not to say that we should just ignore everything. It's important to work through things if there's things that need to be worked through, to address things, right? But if the only thing that you can see are the things that kind of bother you or are bringing you down, then you're not going to enjoy your relationship. This whole pizza that's right there in front of you, it's right there for you to enjoy, but you're not enjoying it because you're only focused on that sausage that fell down. And it's the same, I've seen it with entrepreneurs as well, people who are trying to build a business. There's so many entrepreneurs who get burnt out and into kind of a negative mindset because the only thing that they see is the gap between where they want their business to be and where they currently are. So they live every day with this sense of dissatisfaction and this sense of self-doubt because I should be here and I'm actually down here. And so it creates this burnout. Those negative emotions wear them down and they stop enjoying their business. So they have these sausages that fell off. They do have things that they're lacking, but they have this whole pizza right there in front of them. They have something going, even if it's small, but they're failing to enjoy it because they're focusing on the sausage that fell down. So my invitation to all of us is to stop focusing on the piece of sausage that fell down and focus on the whole rest of the pizza that we currently have. Enjoy the pizza, savor the pizza, savor your current situation and what you have and what is going well for you. And as you do that, it's okay and actually very important to work for improvement of your current situation, to improve upon that which you already have, but there has to be a balance there. If you only focus on what you lack, and if you focus on what you lack, but you don't focus on improving, you just focus on what you lack, then you're going to bring yourself down all the time. So don't just focus on what you lack, savor what you have, and enjoy the process of taking what you have and making it even better. As you do that, you will have more joy, you will have better improvement, and you will thrive. Thank you so much for listening. I truly appreciate it. Make sure to share this podcast with 3 friends and to like and subscribe on YouTube. And please leave a review on Apple Podcasts. Those are actually so helpful. So thank you to those who have left some. Let's go be high performing today.